stupid jerk who was lucky enough to land this gig tonight, which is pretty sweet. So before we bring everybody out, we're going to run some clips really quick, but before we do that, I have to mention how excited we are to have you here for an evening with Greg Nicotero, Michael Rooker, Norman Reedus, and Lauren Cohen. Please note that this event is not sponsored by or affiliated with AMC Network. And now, let's rock. It's perfect. Sure. It's still bucket. You are gonna beat this world. I know you will. You were taken by who? This guy calls himself the governor. This place sounds pretty secure. I'm here. He's gonna be back in this tonight.
Don't do this. Don't give me an ultimatum. Not after everything.
Are you coming? Or not? You just slow me down anyway.
What should we do in there, huh? What?
You wanted your brother. How you got it?
It is. Well, it was until about 3 seconds ago. So, listen, guys, thank you for coming. We're really delighted. This is the second of 3 nights only. It's really exciting for us. Thank you, Kansas City. Every night is a different lineup. So, this is the only night that you get the Dixon Brothers together. World tour, 3 nights, where we have both Dixon Brothers. So we're really excited. what kind of pressure do you feel that you have to kind of live up to?
Well, you know, the exciting thing is, people that love the show, they were hooked from episode 1. It's really true. I mean, you know, we certainly went down a path that had been down before George Romero so brilliantly did his zombie movies, and Night of the Living Dead was our benchmark. So when Frank Darabont and I talked about the pilot, it was really like we wanted to do justice to it. The little girl in the opening, yes, there have been scenes with a little girl zombie before, but Frank wasn't afraid to go down that road again because he redefined it for a whole new generation. And what I love is, and Norman and I talk about this a lot, you walk down the street and a dude will come up and go, dude, I love the show, it's fucking great, stay right here. And they'll run and grab their wife and their kids and their mom and their grandmother. They bring like 50 people over and
they all watch the show.
They all watch the show. Like Sunday night, it's like, all you motherfuckers all sit together. Tremendously exciting. People always say, did you have any idea when you guys were doing the show what kind of impact it would have on people? You know, I mean, I've been doing makeup effects and feature stuff for 25 years. Day of the Dead was my first take. So it's getting a chance to work with this cast. You know, the fact that Daryl and Merle's characters weren't in the comic book and were created by Frank in season 1, it's pretty great.
So that actually brings to another point. So Frank Darabont created the show, started it, ran it for the first season. Glenn Mazzara did it for, well, he's still technically doing it for the rest of this season. How has the show changed with that kind of, you know, head of leadership change?
Well, Glenn had a very unique vision for the show. You know, there's a lot more action this season, a lot more, you know, the first episode where they slaughter 100 zombies in like 30 seconds. It's just, you know, there's just different aesthetics. You know, for season 2, that plot line, the Sophia in the barn and the whole plot line of Herschel's farm was all mapped out. And seriously, I mean, you know, we've been talking to writers and people for season 4, and it's great to sit down with them because we'll say, what's one of the greatest moments of the show for you? And they all say, Sophia coming out of the barn, because you really never saw it coming. And, you know, Daryl's episode, searching for her, it's just pretty simple.
And then he falls off his horse, poor guy. And falls down the ravine, oh, poor guy. Can't get up, sticks himself in his hair, poor guy. And Brother Merle has to come by, stepping on his ass and skidding on his way.
Norman's bike's not working. Maybe hit your button there. These mics are too smart for us.
Yo. No.
Can we get another mic up
Here, do
here?
this one.
No, it's just...
This theater was produced and built in 1993. We probably don't even need mics.
That was mine.
Well, listen to this. No, I was about to say that scene hanging upside down when Apparition Brother shows up. He was like ad-libbing all this shit. I'm hanging off of this tree, and there's scorpions walking by my face and shit. And I'm like, look, just say your fucking line right. And he's like ad-libbing and ad-libbing and ad-libbing, like torturing me all fucking day. I did.
You were great, man. Your climbing skills were amazing. You know, you rivaled Sylvester Stallone. I got it!
No, I was like completely.
We go way beyond method, dude. Method is nothing.
Really? I felt that backstage when you were karate kicking me before we went on. That's good though. I had 3 beers to warm up and he kicked my ass. So that's actually, I have that. This mic is driving me crazy too. I have to mention this though to Michael. This is very personal. When I was 14, I saw Henry Portrait of a Serial Killer. And let me just say, that was my exorcist, okay? I am scarred forever, and I just want to do it, because I have like this pop culture mind, and so I just suck in things and make them my own, and I have this quote that I want to do for you. Is that okay? Can I do a little Henry for you? Okay. I'll try my best with this.
All right, go ahead, do it.
It's not right, Otis. She's your sister. Right? Has anybody seen that movie?
I thought you were going to plug it in, Otis.
There you go. Oh my God.
Plug it in, Otis, yeah.
So from that to, right, the heavy and Mallrats with the stink ball. Still the heavy. Why are you always the heavy? I don't understand. Because you're so,
Nice.
Yeah, you're really nice.
Nice person.
And not threatening.
I'm not threatening at all, and I'm nice, and I'm kind, and gentle, and understanding, and sweet. All right?
Yes.
I am.
Yes.
You know what? I don't really understand that. As an actor, you just basically you get whatever's on your plate. You say, I'm gonna do this or not. And if you don't, you don't pay the mortgage. So you just do what comes down the pipe.
So one thing I was thinking of is for a while, your character, for a long period of time, was off the show. Did you know that you were going to come back on? Were you kind of like on hold? Were you?
You know what? I did that first show on an a la carte basis. True. I did. I was up for one show and I said, well, yeah, I'll come in like I've always done. I'll come in as a hired gun, do my thing, and split. And that's what I did. But I must have done my thing so well when Frank Darabont saw it. They said, I don't want this guy to split, so I'm going to keep him around. So he ended up writing that monologue, the 4-minute monologue, which completely changed my life. I think that monologue was absolutely amazing.
That's security response.
Yeah, I think. And after that, the way they rewrote the show and the way they kept bringing Merle back in and having T-Dog use my clap medicine and all that kind of stuff. You gave away all my meds, dude.
I couldn't say that word either forever.
God.
What the fuck you call that pill or whatever?
I couldn't say all the real names for the meds.
I took all day.
So anyway, I kind of thought, yeah, but I didn't know officially until about a week or so after we did our scene in season 2.
Okay.
Yeah, that's when I actually found out.
Okay. And maybe the same question for Lauren. When you first came on, it seemed like maybe you were going to be, there for a while. Characters let's face it, kids, they come and go. Sure. So did you know that you were going to be in this for the long haul? Or?
I knew they had me coming back. They had me coming on as a guest star for the first season, for season 2 that I was and then at the end of that season, I guess they built the story up to a point, and then they asked me to come back as a series regular. I guess the blossoming love story was so Oh, it was good. I mean, we had a really good fan reception, and I think the chemistry between us and the chemistry between the whole group, and Maggie slapped Shane, and you can't get rid of her.
And it seems like
Did you watch the show?
Did he slap you back?
No, he was coming in and starting a commercial, and then I come up to him and he's like,
Well, like you slapped me yesterday?
yeah, like I slapped him every day.
Oh, did he cry?
No, but I did a little hard first, and I got kind of excited, and even John Bernthal, who's tough as nails, said, I'll see, do it below my ear. Because I want to hear after this.
Yeah, we're talking about a boxer. The guy's like,
When she slapped me yesterday, we were at dinner, all of a sudden you just reached up and BOW! And I don't even know what I said. Was it something I did? Did I like look? Did you follow my eyes and you thought that it was... All right, my quick reflexes, I diverted a bad...
This time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
so. That actually.
Fuck are you guys talking about?
This is really weird with me in the middle, and you guys out there. It's kind of like
You want us to get closer, man?
Right? But no, so that brings up a good point when you were talking about the differences between the show and the comic book. How Kirkman's still writing. I mean, the
Yeah.
comic book is still going.
yeah, I think we're up to issue 107, I think. And the exciting thing is we've covered about 30% of the source material. So there's a lot of story that we still have to go. My backstory to reading the comic book was I was working with Robert Rodriguez, and I was in Boston, and I went to a comic book shop and saw the first issue of Walking Dead, and I bought two, and I remember going back to the studio and giving a copy to Robert, and I was like, dude, look how cool this is, like it's a zombie comic book, and I think it was 2002, I want to say, when it came out. And what was funny is that we're shooting Sin City 2, and I was just back. Yeah, they wrapped tomorrow, and I was back in Boston, and I went to the comic book shop, and the guy literally came over and said, "You have no idea what it meant to us that you named our comic book shop, because now people order stuff online. They don't go buy comics anymore; they just download them or they read." So we love the fact that we're able to keep that art form going. People like buying comics and reading them. So we have a lot of great material to cover. I always use the analogy that the graphic novel is the freeway, and every once in a while we'll get off and we'll explore some neighborhoods, and then we sort of get back on track. When we did The Mist, Stephen King said to Frank Darabont, "I love the ending of The Mist, where Thomas Jane literally." Sorry if you didn't see the movie, but if you haven't seen it, you're not missing. It's a great movie. And at the end, of course, the movie ends differently than the graphic novel, the book does. And Stephen King said, if I would have thought of that, that's how I would have ended. So it's great that we have that opportunity in our medium to fine-tune things and to take material and expand on it.
I'm surprised that you actually read comic books.
I do.
I'm surprised. I look at the pictures. I look at I'm not sure which bubble to go to sometimes. I said I should read comics. I should read comics. And I learned how to read with other materials.
Right?
I wasn't aware of but the comic books always confused me. I wasn't sure.
I think you are the only
Because you
one
have
that's
lotion in one hand and a Kleenex in the other.
Love stories, man, they're love stories. I'm a romantic at heart, you know that.
You just read that magazine through the interviews, right? Through the articles.
No, I skip over the articles and go to the back portion where all the good stories.
Remember the Fifth Avenue family?
Yeah. Go ahead, that's what she said.
So this is
I'm getting in
actually.
trouble.
I mean, you mentioned it before. This is like The Mist. I mean, that was a bleak ending. And this whole experience, where you guys have set this, and the fact that it's not a movie, but it's a TV show that's, spread out for all this time. You guys have more terrain to explore in the zombie universe than anybody has ever had before. And I think that hope is something that drives this show. Whereas most zombie movies, you're in and done in 90 minutes or 2 hours, and there's not a lot of hope at the end of it. What's your North Star, I guess? Like, how does the show keep going, and how's it going to end?
Well, we have great all right, well, here, the way it's going to end, here's what's going to happen.
That's a tough question.
Well, I always say that it's a great mixture of great characters and great actors and great monster. And if any of them are out of sync, it sort of blows up in your face. And the beauty of the show is it's a really delicate balance. And I think, we have great characters. That's your cue to say something.
Aliens. It's gonna be
Aliens versus zombies.
Meteors. Did you hear about the meteor? Why are they always hitting Siberia? Anybody got an answer to that? I mean, come on, right?
Yeah. So zombies are coming out of Siberia tomorrow. We'll be ready.
So as for you guys as actors, does the non-stop bleakness, does it get to you?
Yes.
Norman?
I mean, it's a character on the show. George is a character on the show. The Heat's a character on the show. I mean, I think what brings people to the show is it's not just a zombie show. It's like everyone's infected. Time is important, and what you say is important. Who you are is important, and these are your 2 feet on the ground. Who do you want to be? It's important. So I think that's what draws people in, because we're all our clocks are ticking. Who do you want to be? So I think if you look at all the characters from season 1 to now, they're all so different. They're all evolving and growing and learning, and I think
And dying.
I think that's the glue that keeps it together.
You know what? I gotta tell you, you're right, man. The Heats, all those little ticks, they're characters in this show. I mean, how many of those guys did you pick up? They're constantly trying to take our lives. Shit! Get off me! The first day I was here, I picked off 4 or 5 of them.
That you trapped on the roof, like your head looked like bacon.
Yeah, it was 150 degrees. So
It was so hot. It was so hot that when we shot the scene with Michael on the roof in season 1, we went in and shot. We poured blood on the ground when we had the fake hand, and it took us about 20 minutes to shoot it. It was a second unit shot, so I did a dolly shot of dollying it to reveal the hand and the handcuffs. And we're like, okay, we're gonna go inside and finish shooting for the day. The fake blood had boiled to the roof. It was like hard candy, and when I went to clean it up, I burned my fingers because the roof was white, so all the reflection. I remember us having a conversation the night after you got done shooting. Because people use those shiny boards to get suntan. No, that's that day.
dude, I remember that day. Remember when I'm in the scene and I'm praying to Jesus and I go down to my knees and he doesn't answer and I'm like pounding my head. When I pound my head, I can feel the roof is melting. And it's like, it actually made the roof a little softer. The tar would make that white
It's soft.
was soft, so I was able to pound my head hard.
That explains a lot.
So, when hits, now you understand. Unfortunately, Rooker has pounded his head too many times.
The first day that Norman was on set, we were shooting the Walker eating the deer. And it's a great story because I worked with Norman on Masters of Horror, and John Carpenter directed an episode. And Norman was called Cigarette Burns, and Frank Darabont called me and said, hey, call Carpenter and ask John what it was like working with Norman. And literally like 2 weeks later, we were shooting that scene, and I'm in zombie makeup, and Norman shows up on set. He didn't know who I was because I was in makeup and eating the deer. And the funny thing about the deer was we had little rods in the legs, so while I was eating it, I'm puppeteering the legs, and I'm making it move. And then I'm eating it, and I'm making it move. And then and that was his first day on set. And then the next day, I sit in the van, and the extras didn't recognize me because I wasn't ugly.
I was already so nervous because like the cast was already there, and they'd been working together and done all their promo photos together, and they're already a family. And so I was really nervous because like my first lines are so ridiculous, you know. And I'm like looking up at them, and they're looking at me like, oh, this guy's a new. Like Greg comes up. The first person I met was Greg. He was all zombified, and he was like, "Hi, I'm Greg." I'm like, "Who the fuck is this guy?" Look at this psychopath right here, you know. And then it's like, do I want me to twirl this? Overhand swirl ties. And then fucking burned out puts me in a headlock for real. Like I laid in the hotel like this. I couldn't lift my head. Yeah, that was crazy.
That scene because I was.
And he was, you know, I mean, I'm like doing my thing, and he's just waiting to tackle. You know, bam, you know.
And that scene too, they gave me because that's sort of the first time we reveal a lot of the characters, and they beat the zombie down, and then Jeff DeMont chops its head off with the shovel, and so they put a little pad on the shotgun that Bernthal's holding, and they had rubber implements for them to beat the hell out of me with. But after the first take, the little rubber pieces came off, and so in the show, I'm kind of like in zombie mode, going, ugh, rolling, trying to get my ribs away from him beating the crap out of me. And then Jeff DeMont comes up with this big rubber shovel and goes, well, bam! And then they go cut, and he's like, Greg, you alright? I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. All right, we gotta do it one more time. And he comes up with the rubber shovel and he's like, I'm sorry. Bam! And I'm like, you know what? I'm killing you in season 2. What do you think of that? I didn't say that.
When it comes to fight scenes,
That's, yeah.
my theory is do it one time, move on. So a lot of times actors and stunt guys, they get us in there and say, for example, if you need a really good beat down or you need a really good hit or something like that, they don't want to do it. You know, they want to do stuff like that. Right? Am I right?
Yeah, you gotta.
And you're over there going like, oh, and it's like, oh, it's such bullshit. You know, really, come on, does this really hurt? Look at that. That doesn't hurt, right? So do it.
You're not sitting there getting kicked.
I'm just waiting for you to walk off stage. Screw this!
I'm getting my ass kicked by a
But you guys do all your own stunts. I mean, there's really not.
But do
there's
it,
no-
do it like as a stage kid. Don't use the tip of your toe or the heel of your boot or anything, but really make contact.
Do it right the first time, and then you don't have to do it again.
Then we can move on. Well, is it better to do it right the first time and move on? Or is it better to do it 5 times? Then you got
I'm
5
stumped right now.
Really? I mean, really, feel this.
Wait. Yeah, that's right. That's how it feels.
Oh, wow, that feels. Let me try.
Wait, she did it one take.
Delayed reaction. She struck me.
So, but there's a couple interesting things too. I mean, I think an advantage that I have as being a producer is I get to read the scripts early. I get to read scenes that I really like because as the process goes, the scripts evolve and they change. And there's a great scene in season 2 where Norman interrogates Randall in the barn, and I remember reading the script. That's a great scene. And when that episode came up for me to direct, that scene had been dropped. And Norman and I talked about it, and I actually had that scene put back into the episode. So the teaser of episode 11, where Dale dies, is that scene. So for me, it's a great opportunity to get a chance to read scenes and see stuff. And for me too, I'm on set every single day. I'm the only director that's there for every day. So I've watched these characters grow. I've watched the actors grow and change. I know I don't have to learn who Merle is because I've been with him on set great advantage as a director to be able to work with these guys. And in episode 5 of the season, when Merle and Martinez are in the gladiator pit, beating the hell out of each other with all the walkers around, that was a great scene. We shot all that like literally half a night.
And that was a great character development thing for me.
Yeah.
To put that back in. I get, in the interviews, they're always like, "Are you the new number 2?" Because of Shane. And I always say, Daryl doesn't want to take over the group. He doesn't want to sit around and get everyone together and talk about their feelings and all that bullshit. Like, when everyone's complaining, like, what do we do with Randall? Do we kill him? Do we let him go? Like, Daryl quietly goes in there, beats the fuck out of him, and he walks don't look at me, I just did this with you. And that's a great character development. That's so smart of you.
But we fought. There was a storyline in season 2 where when Daryl leaves the group, that he was like starting to get into Merle's stash and motorcycle and just kind of gets on drugs for 4 episodes. And we both went, no, that's not Daryl.
He knows better.
He does. No, that wasn't what the character would have done. So we fought to keep your character real, and it's a great opportunity to collaborate with the actors and go, and we've all done it together on different episodes in terms of fighting for keeping the voice of the characters real, which is tremendously important.
It also builds up our stuff later on. Prisoner, you know what I mean? Like, when I see you, and there's all this backstory, so.
I got a question for Norman. I've always wanted to ask you this, because it was...
About 9 inches.
But truly the question was in the first season, because the answer was very telling for me. I get my little hints on characterization and where I want to go with a character. I can get it from one word in the entire script, and then I can build around that one word, the entire role. And the phrase that hooked me was when the cops were beating the shit out of you. They're attacking you, man. They're double teaming you. Remember that shit? And you're like you say, that's not fair.
Chokehold's illegal.
Yeah, chokehold's illegal. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and from that phrase, I built a big portion of our relationship.
Yeah, that first scene too. That was written like, fuck you, I'll kill you, fuck you. And I try. And first off, everyone's looking at you, right? They tell me that stuff, and then I tried to turn away and tear up a little bit and act tough, and turn away and act tough. And then I remember Lori was the only one that said something on my side. She said, and he's gonna go help you look for him. So a lot of stuff hasn't made it, on the show, but I always try to make it a point to look at her like, no mom in her life and stuff like that, and like, what's that lady about? Like, what's that lovey-dovey relationship? Like, make it a thing. So like, we had that one scene with the garbanzo beans and all that shit that got cut, but take a drink out of a bottle of booze, and she was the first person to pass it to. So I know what you're saying, like little tiny snippets sort of develop a whole thing.
Oh, exactly. And sometimes it's just that, like that, just literally that one phrase. When I saw that phrase and I read it in the script, I was like, and then I saw it. I know I didn't read it in the script. I saw you do it, and I was like, it was so telling. It was just so telling. Yeah, because these brothers fought tooth and nail all the times, and they're like, I'm smacking you upside your head, you're kicking me. Wait until I turn my back and then you hit me with a spoon or something. I don't know. Like brothers.
Not a spoon, a knife.
But that brings up a good point, is that there are also, we prep the shows in 8 days, we shoot in 8 days. Invariably, sometimes the show edits are supposed to be 44 minutes, they come in long, and then scenes have to get cut out. So it's unfortunate that there are times when the directors put their cuts in and the producers have their notes and then it goes to the network. So So sometimes scenes that we all believe will be in there, and then you watch the show. In episode 5, the episode after Lori dies, there's a great scene between Daryl and Maggie when they leave the prison and they're going to find formula. And it was a moment where you had an opportunity to digest Lori's death and share with Daryl about Carol. And that scene never made it into the episode. It's a great scene. It'll be on the DVD album.
She's so good at that.
But that scene was fantastic. And I was really upset that it didn't make it.
Yeah, it doesn't make it, I guess, but it's a good reason to get the DVD.
So in a scene like that happens and it doesn't make final cut, but it ends up on the DVD, does it become part of the canon? Is it essentially in the story, or do you guys treat it as that didn't happen?
It's hard to say because once the episodes are assembled, it's sort of a separate thing. And, you know...
I mean, it's all happened.
Yeah.
Because as the actor, it's all gone, it's all happened. So those scenes are still there.
And that's a good point.
And you use those scenes to catapult other scenes and keep it through.
And the actors don't know. The actors don't know that the scene has been cut. So they will continue their performance based on what they understand that their characters
And
done.
what happens now is that I think because Daryl and Maggie had that moment where they connected on the road, and then now we've got to the point where you feel so much more like a family member to me now that you're leaving, and that us pleading with you to leave, and it forms things for us that you will feel when you watch, and you won't know. You need to know that it's there,
So let's talk about two things then. I want to know what the most challenging moment, and we'll start with Laura, what the most challenging moment that you have had on the show, whether that is an acting moment or some sort of gory action moment or something like that. What was the moment where you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, and how did you get out of it? How did you
get through it? Yeah, I think the most challenging has been Laurie's death, definitely, just because it's actually really difficult to go through something like that, like with Chandler.
Is that applause for Laurie's death?
No, I didn't know it. I thought it was just a beautiful show, but yeah, that was definitely a really, really difficult scene to do. As you all can imagine, I mean, it was, I think, one of the saddest scenes of the episode and then of the season. It was, so yeah, I mean, we definitely just sort of go into a zone with that, and seeing Chandler Riggs go through that and those emotions, and he's a 12-year-old kid, I mean, and he brought it. Like, he just... None of us could speak to anybody for the rest of that day afterwards. It's like you've literally scooped a baby out of a woman and watched a 12-year-old kill his own mother, and then, go have a cup of coffee. But it was... but I think that most of the challenges actually completely inform the show. Like, I'm grateful for every single one of the things that may be difficult, because that's like, how many places do you get to tell that story and go through those kind of things, It's like...
Joyous.
It is in its own way.
It's kind of crazy that we go through this. Yeah,
you have all these emotions inside of you. It's completely cathartic, and you get it out in the scene, and then afterwards, it's very liberating. You know what I mean? You're sort of telling a good story.
I love your question. By the way, that was an awesome question, because I had never heard that question before. And I'll tell you, mine was not on the set. My most challenging moment was in the ADR room. No, it happened 3 days before the ADR session. I had done the rooftop scene, the monologue, where when I'm been out there, no food and water for 3 days, and I'm dying, and my brain is fried, and
What happened?
Shut up! But anyway, you do that scene, and then it's good. We did it. We don't ever have to go back there. Thank God. We don't ever have to go back there. That's why I like film work. You do it, you give it your all, you 100%, and you never have to go back. Not true. Frank Darabont called me and said, Michael, I'm going to apologize to you first of all. I'm sorry this has to happen, but we have to go back into the ADR room, and ADR that entire scene.
All of the dialogue?
And I'm like, what scene are you talking about? And he said, well, the rooftop scene, there was a train running through the entire sequence of the scene. And I'm like, I'm numbed. And I'm like, what? And he says, yeah, I'm really sorry, dude. And can you come in and I'm going to give you a couple of days to prepare for it. And I was like, well, thanks. I mean, F-U-C-K, right? Yeah. Sorry about that. I get to the ADR, and I just don't know how to do this. I go to the ADR room, and I end up, we spent 6 hours trying to get it. Every word had to be redone. And I got back home, and I emailed Frank Darabont, and I said, dude, I have to apologize. Never in my career I have ever not gotten it. I could not get it.
You didn't think that your voice performance was
No,
as
I
good?
said, I'm so sorry. I said, I know we got it, technically we got it, but there is no way in hell.
They don't want Pearl to get sensitive.
There was no way.
That's rad.
But there was no way I could get back to that moment.
Yeah.
It's just technically impossible.
Not only are you doing the lines again, but you're matching up.
You
But I
got
had to do that I had to do that episode 2. But Tosh was, I think Tosh was dying. There was a huge pop because Scott's breathing is very heavy. But it's actually the cutest thing because Scott has a deviated septum. So
We don't care about Scott.
he was actually not snoring.
But it's still though. You can't. It's impossible. So he said, no matter what, we'll try to save as much as possible. And I'm like, okay, you know. And he called me back 3 days later, and he said, oh God, by the way, I forgot to tell you, they had done it. They fixed it. They said she saved every single word of that scene. And I'm like, how did you do it? And he said, well, you know, we old guys, we have our tricks. And he said, instead of trying to fix the words, we camouflaged the words with a storm coming in. So they camouflaged the train going through with thunder and lightning and rolling thunder and stuff like that. And so they saved all the lines.
That's awesome.
But that was the hardest part for me. I was like, oh shit, I don't know this. Yeah, I couldn't write that.
No, once it's done, it's done. You don't want to.
Yeah, you don't really just leave it. You know, I don't want to mess with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So,
I don't know.
Do you have?
Fuck, there are. You know. I mean, the arena scene, that was rough.
Yeah, that was.
I mean, we could have gone into that like, fuck, we'll fight everyone, like fuck you, fuck you know. We could have done it that way, or we could have done it how we did it, which I think is the right way. Like the weaker, the more scared I am, the more it's about us. I didn't think that scene was about the governor or about the arena. I thought it was about this, you know.
Yeah.
And I tried to play that like I was going to be executed. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's like one of those, but there's like one of those GIFs, whatever those are, those moving images, and you see the governor like bringing me in there, and he's like manhandling me, and he rips the hood off, and I look at you, and I actually go into him, like the devil. I'm like, it's about that, you know. So I think the way that we did that was great. And that was long hours, and that was a double day, you know.
That was crazy. Yeah, very physical and very emotional stuff too.
yeah.
Very different, you know. They're all very different. Even the little ones are. If you're clever about it, they're all hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean, a lot of people complain about the second season because they said there wasn't a lot of action. But for me, the second season is about character development, and it's also about the payoff of character. And if you don't have that, if you guys aren't going through this journey, then it doesn't mean anything to us when you're killing zombies later in your life is on the line and all this stuff. So that kind of, a scene like that makes the show.
It makes it why people watch it. You know, if you go back and watch season 2 as a whole, it builds. You know, when you get to episode 8 with Sophie in the barn, and then when you get into the second half and it's Dale and it's Rick and Shane, and it really builds. You're building characters. It wouldn't have ended the way it did if we hadn't spent the time. So, you know, listen, I'm all for killing zombies. That's my job. You know? But, you know, the truth of the matter is that you got the character stuff has to be set up. It has to be established. And we really go to great pains to make sure that things make sense. You know, there's a lot of times you get the scripts and making sure that we preserve the characters' voices. And there's a lot of times when it'll be like, oh, Andrew wouldn't do that, or Sarah wouldn't do that. And we actually fight to make sure that those things happen because it's important for the show's progression. Things that happen in season 1 impact what we're doing 2 episodes from now. Stuff that we did in season 1 will resurface in a couple of episodes. It pays off. And, you know, the rest of the season, there's some great shit coming.
Yeah, and one-part questions, please. Okay? We don't want to hear your life story for 20 minutes and then you ask second questions. So, there are 4,000 people.
No segue into your question. Just come up, ask your question, be clear about it, and be loud because I have a bad ear.
So we'll start up here.
Kept this director turn.
Hello?
Yes.
All right. What is the future of Boondock Saints, and is there a sequel to Days of Thunder? What's the future of Boondock Saints?
I'm not sure, yo. I don't know. I don't know, to be honest. But you know, a moment of silence. CB, our producer, just passed away the other day. So you know, we love CB. But as the future, I don't know what's going to happen, to be honest.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll stay up top and go over here to the other side.
Hi, this one's for Greg. When you're zombie scene in Woodbury, how long did it take for your makeup to get put on and ready? And how many times did you have to take the scene?
It was about 2 hours. I had custom dentures, contact lenses, a full face prosthetic, and Lori Holden ran up the street, smacked me in the side of the head with the gun, and shot me. So the fun part about that day was when I was in makeup, people didn't recognize me. Like I was standing 5 feet away from Scott Wilson, who plays Herschel, and he kept looking at me, and he's like, "I know those eyes, but I can't put my finger on who it is." And of course, I had the denture like, "It's me!" And of course, so later he figured it out, but it was about 2 hours. But thank you. Good question.
Okay, down here.
Hi, this one's from Norman. I was just wondering if there was any time, like backstage, you know, behind the scenes, that you just really loved, like a bonding moment between you guys.
What was that?
A bonding.
When did you bond backstage?
With who?
With you and any of the rest of the cast.
On set,
Oh
not here.
shit! I love all these guys. It's corny as fuck, but honestly, I love this whole cast. They're all so special, and it's so nice to watch them do their thing, and it's an honor to be with all of them. I've bonded with all of them differently. I mean, Andy and I are real tight, Steve and I are real tight, me and the ladies real tight, me and Roper, of course, are tight. Andy and I have this little thing, like in a serious scene, I'll lean over and I'll go, "Love you." And he'll lean over all super tight. I talk to Bruno all the time still, and we're all, everyone's really tight on the show.
Good question. Over here?
Hi, my question's also for Norman. Spaced out.
No pressure. Take your time.
Playing one of the only characters that was not originally in the comics, do you feel as an actor you get more of an ability to create Daryl?
I can fuck anyone I want. I can kill I never really had a conversation with Frank about Daryl ever when I started the character, and I kind of ran with it. And the writers are really cool in that, with TV you sort of do your thing and you kind of drop these little seeds on the ground on the way. And sometimes they turn into trees and storylines. And sometimes I go to the producers and the writers and I go, "What about this?" And they go, "No, that's fucking stupid. No." So it's a real give and take with all of us. I mean, they invite us into the writers' room where we get to talk about so what does Daryl think about T-Dog? Whatever. But we all work together.
All right, great question up there.
This question's for Greg. You were talking about how the characters are really what we care about in the show, and the zombies are fun, but the characters are what bring us back. Are you willing to go as far as have an episode with no walkers in it at all? That's just about people?
Well, listen, if you think about the episode where Dale died, we had one walker. He just happened to rip the guy open, but we only had one guy. And listen, there may be episodes that explore that dramatic tension between the characters. Obviously, we want to keep that alive in terms of knowing that there are walkers. That's the world we live in now. But there were a couple episodes, season 2, I think the Well Walker was like one of the only walkers that was in that episode. And of course we tore him in half. So if there's only one there, you can bet he's going to do something great.
And there's something that Greg does which is very subtle, just to make sure, like in the scene in this last week's episode, where it was Rick and Steven and I, and you had just a couple of walkers in the background just to make sure you can feel the presence of it. They won't be in the scene, but you'll make sure that somewhere in the distance you just see.
You're always ready.
Also, the way that he does them too is like, you don't just see this monster, you see like the sad, lost, sick, dying person behind the monster. That's the creepy bit.
He's really trying to eat it.
He's very good at his job.
Good question. Thank you.
Thank you.
Over here.
This one's for Norman. So with Rick's outbreak and Ghost Lori, what's that all about?
I mean, the poor guy. I
can answer that for
a lot's going on with him. You know what I'm saying? What I like about his character and how he plays it is he's always making a mistake. If he had a cape on and he was always right and made all the right choices, he'd be really boring. He keeps trying. And he told me this thing that Frank told him early on about his character. This is your character. He goes, when you're on the tank and you're surrounded by all the zombies, you jump off and sprain your ankle. That's who you are. You know what I mean? It's a really good note. But he's got a lot going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we started with, in episode 5, he starts these auditory hallucinations about hearing the baby crying, and then he sees Shane in episode 8. So we're sort of building to a place where clearly we want him to be the leader, but he's becoming unhinged. So that's going to fall on other people in the group, and now that Daryl is gone, it sort of throws our people into disarray because who's going to step up with Rick kind of losing his mind? Good question. Maggie's in charge.
Hi, this is also for Norman. I just got a question for you. I still love you, Mike. I love all of you. But what was the funniest thing that happened to you either on set or off set? Something that resulted in you laughing at yourself or an injury that made you laugh at yourself? What has just been the most hilarious thing that's happened to you on set or off set?
One girl sent me her breast implant. I use it as my phone cradle. A girl me a bag full of squirrel meat once.
You get some weird.
As far as injuries, I ran through a corridor with that crossbow and hit the edge of the door frame and gave myself a black eye. That was very klutzy. I fuck up all the time. I'm a huge klutz.
Good question, thank you.
Okay, now here.
My question's for Norman. Who would you have a sex scene with, and who would you kill off?
You better kill whoever you fuck.
That's what I was gonna ask. Wow.
Sorry.
Well, I gotta think of Maggie, so maybe that. Who would I kill off? Wow. You know, I'd work with all these people. Can I say Daryl? Who would I kill off?
You can't kill yourself.
Wow. I could get real sick and say ass kicker or something. Yeah. But ass kicker doesn't really know me yet, so she won't see this. You know what I'm saying? Bye, baby.
Okay, wait, I have a question though. So who would you guys kill?
Next question.
Next question. Up there.
First, thanks for coming to Kansas City. If you could kill a famous zombie, like a zombie Chuck Norris, who would it be and why?
I like zombie Chuck Norris. That's already.
Is there a zombie Chuck Norris?
No, there's
Zombie
no.
Lady Gaga? Just to see how she can sing as a zombie.
I don't know. I'm not good at these kind of questions.
It can't be zombie Bill Murray because he's dead.
Zombie.
I would say zombie Sean Connery. That would be James Bond.
Taylor Swift.
Good question.
Taylor Swift. Isn't she so cute? Doesn't she deserve to be a zombie?
All right, I think we're going to move on over to the next trouble.
Okay, so did any of you guys like read the comics before you were even like knowing you were gonna do the show?
Oh, you mean before we even before somebody even thought of the Walking Dead TV show?
Yeah.
I did not.
But you looked at the pictures.
After.
Were we, you probably.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. But I already said that.
All right, thank you. Over down here.
I got you, Mike. First question, I'd say in that scene when Daryl he was divided between Merle and the group, what is your personal take on that?
My personal take or Merle's take? Yeah, when I was in the scene, doing the scene, it was, I just got hit over the head, I'm coming to, and I'm like, my brother's over there talking to these people, I don't know what the hell's going on. But when he leaves and he comes toward me, of course, my character, I'm feeling a bit triumphant. Because I thought he'd gone over to the other side, the dark side. And hanging out with the cops and listening to everybody else and making his own mind up and all that kind of crap. So finally he chose his brother.
To make your mind up.
But it was like, yeah, so they didn't keep the take. But as we were walking off, and I got my eye around you, at least I smiled at it.
Smile's creepy.
The smile was very tender.
Awesome. Thank you. All right, then we'll go over here.
Hey guys, so exciting. Oh my gosh, okay. So this is for Norman. So exciting. Okay. Kind of describe your relationship between your character and Carol, because I feel like it's been explored, but it hasn't totally. So like, what's going on there?
I mean, you know, I like the fact that it's these two damaged people sort of gravitating towards each other, and they have similar lives in this weird way. You know, I never want to play Daryl like he's got game. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if that happens, it'll be great because she's such a good actress and so fun to work with. She's awesome. But you know, it's like when a guy meets a girl, like if it's for real, it's awkward as fuck. You know what I mean? I mean, if you're just trying to have sex, it's much easier. You know, but if you want to get to know someone, you say the wrong thing. You're like, damn, this. You know, I hope we play those awkward moments. You know, I would stretch them out. Like, I don't think Daryl's the type of guy that's gonna like throw you against a tree in the moonlight. Yeah, he's not. So I hope we play it, you know, really wrong. What are you doing? Yeah, premature ejaculating, crying in the corner. You know what I'm saying?
In answer to that first question, if rural was your answer, then that would change the whole dynamic of the show.
My answer for what?
About who you would have sex with and kill. You
Hey.
may go in a whole different direction.
Hey, I mean, we're rednecks, you don't know.
Henry just called me sick. That's awesome.
What does your button say? I got a question.
What's up? What do you got there? Hello.
Hey Lauren, how you doing? Okay, my question's actually for Greg.
That's okay.
Greg, so Greg, I want to know, has anyone given any thought to letting George Romero direct an episode?
That actually, you know, Frank Darabont brought it up in season 1 when we were at Comic-Con. Frank said, "Oh, wouldn't it be great if George Romero directed an episode?" And spoken to. I actually spoke to George, and you know, he's the respect. Mind disturbing, you guys. You know, he has his world, and Walking Dead has its world, and you know, I think we respect where he came from, and he respects us, but I think he's like, dude, I got my own zombie. So, you know, and you know, just the background of his, you know, he has the butcher zombie and the Santa Claus zombie and the cheerleader zombie, and you know, we don't go with that. I mean, our walkers are much different because we don't identify them as to what they were in their previous life. They're just this sort of endless mass of a devouring horde. We don't really want to look at them and go, oh, that guy's a doctor. And in the episode, in the end of season 2, there were a few that you could sort of saw a guy in a lab coat, and we kind of shied away from that because we really didn't want to identify them as anything that they were in their previous life, but just this unstoppable thing that puts our show into motion. Good question.
Thank you. And then up here.
Oh, my question is to Lauren.
Yeah.
One of the most interesting parts of the show is poor kid Carl, who is torn between trying to follow his father Rick or Shane. And Shane's trying to ostracize to stay out of this complex relationship that he's developed. But the question I have is that you alluded to how emotionally complex and draining some of the series is, but how do you decompress at the end, especially for someone like the actor Chandler or the actress Emily? How do you make sure they're okay at the end of the day?
Yeah,
with
that's
some of this tough stuff.
It's good what Nolan said earlier about us all being so tight knit and such a close family. It's like we're all out in Georgia. Nobody is from there. Nobody lives there. We do hang out with each other at the end of the day and after shooting and stuff. And I think Chandler doesn't come out for drinks or anything. But,
well, it's not that we know of.
Yeah. But I think actually a lot of the decompression is in the scene itself. Weirdly, it's letting it all go there, and then.
We have to film it again over.
Except we have to go back in and nip it in ADR. Yeah.
And you know, to jump in real quick, when we shot Dale's death, that was a tremendously emotional scene for everyone because Jeffrey was leaving the show, and we are a family. We've spent 3 years together, and when we shot that scene, I didn't really have to direct them very much because they were all so emotionally in it, and Chandler really realized that Jeffrey was done, and his emotion was so real and so raw that even between takes, he had to sort of step away, and he got really upset because it really did affect him.
And it surprises him, like Chandler doesn't realize how much it's going to affect him.
He's a great actor. I mean, I've directed him in a lot of great scenes, and he's done a really good job.
It's always tough for kids in emotional scenes. It's tough for adults. So everyone develops their own way of shedding that afterward. But you kind of have to. You got to learn that. That's part of the craft.
So speaking of kids, I think we have maybe some kids down here ready to ask a question. I think they can see.
Can I have your autograph?
Well, I know that one's not directed at me.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We'll hook you up later.
Yeah, come on.
She's coming up. While she comes up, let's go over to you, sir.
I don't think we're going to be able to do this for everybody.
No.
Okay, I got a question for all of you. I've been watching the series, and how come there hasn't been any zombie animals?
Virus doesn't affect animals in the natural world.
Why not?
Because they're four-legged, they deserve to be eaten anyway. Yeah, they decided that early on, so that's not our choice.
It's just not part of the equation.
Okay, thank you, though.
You look good, though.
Up here on top.
Yeah, my question's for Norman. There's been a lot of people that have been lost in the crew, from Shane, Dale, T-Dog. Who do you think has been missed the most, and who do you think Daryl would wish would be still in the crew?
I mean, Dale, for certain reasons. Also Shane, for certain reasons. Shane and Daryl had a little argument, but they sort of agreed on everything. You know what I mean? But maybe Sophia, to be honest. I mean, as a Daryl, maybe Sophia. I think she. I mean, there was times like Rick would say, "Don't go."
I mean, it was a question for our new panelists.
Yeah, maybe Sophia.
Thank you.
Yes.
Up here on top.
Hi, this question's from all KWT from Northwest Missouri State University. It's especially for Norman because you're really cute. And if people actually think the Walking Dead world is real or zombies are actually real, what would you say to them?
Never mind, that's not my question. Get out of my face.
Yeah, I don't know, time is precious, we want to be right now, I guess. I don't know, you meet people that are really, like the guy who had a wasp invasion in my apartment in Georgia, and the guy that showed up, like tells me, he goes in the woods and throws an axe and stuff, and he's like, this cat ran over me, ran right up a tree, and then this coyote was right behind it, and I threw that axe and hit it right between the face. He goes, now that cat sleeps on that coyote. You know, really into it. But I don't know, give the people you like a hug, I don't know.
I mean, really, truly, sometimes people come up and say hi, and they seem somewhat normal, and then all of a sudden they get into this story, and it's like you realize that they really think this is real. choice?
Yes.
Me.
And in 50 years, I'd go back and
Sean Patrick Flannery.
First of all, I'd like to congratulate you guys for like 13 million viewers. And these off-season lulls that we have, they're a little brutal for the fans. My question is, are there any plans maybe or the possibility of any spin-off films or movies in those off-seasons?
No, I mean, truthfully, we make a mini zombie movie every 8 days. So it doesn't make sense right now. We wouldn't give you anything different than you have in a movie than you have on AMC right now. We have no restrictions as to what we do. So right now, I think we're pretty styling with what we got.
Melissa and I were.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, so Michael has requested that we do a lightning round.
Lightning round?
Yeah! All right, I'm going to lay down the ground rules. We're going to start over here. Ask your question quick. We're going to give you a quick answer. We're going to move on. We're going to 3 more people, and then we're done. Right down there. Go.
What do you guys think about Lori's ghost?
It didn't look like Lori at all. It looked like T-Dog dressed in blue.
Okay, up here on the balcony.
Norman, can you say the prayer from Boondock Saints?
I say it too late at the bar.
Hey guys! I was wondering if you guys, the actors, had any sort of similarities to the characters you play.
No, never.
Awkward. That's right.
I love you, Maggie! My girlfriend!
Last question of the night, right there.
All right, Michael and Norman, how involved did you guys get to be with the Survival Instinct video game? What did you guys get to do for that?
We did all the voices.
Voices.